It's flesh and hardship in mortal life shall see. I shall progress within the life of joy and peace. In bright shining as the sun, we boldly to see us then we first keep on. You don't mind singing along with this? Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. You guys are great.
Can we hear it again for the Adam Cox and the Jacob George Memorial Band? I want to thank you all for coming out today. Everyone here knows that Jacob touched them in a very profound way. We've got folks here all the way from Oregon, all the way from Vancouver, all the way from Philadelphia, from New York. And this is just a small fraction of the people that Jacob touched and influenced. I'm talking thousands of people in such a very short period of time. It was a testament to him. He made the national news last week. Amy Goodman on Democracy Now! Did a wonderful, heartfelt, wasn't just a clip, a real heartfelt broadcast and tribute to Jacob and the work that he did. Jacob was more than a link in the chain. I mean, he's got to be at least half a dozen links. So I would ask everybody here, you know, we all have to be here for each other and hold each other. This is really what's required and called for as we grieve and as we mourn, and also as we celebrate Jacob's life. Because there's a lot to celebrate. He did so many incredible things. I don't know how many people could ride 8,000 miles on a bicycle. He did it. And he touched thousands of people doing it. But more about that and more eloquently, there'll be people coming up to speak. I would like to make a couple of announcements, if I may. There is I think a basket or a jar over there for donations. Very close to Jacob's heart and to the heart of Jacob's family is the Peace at Home shelter for women and families. There will be donations going to that organization. Also, Veggies for Vets, wonderful organization out of Madison, Wisconsin. very close to Jacob's heart, and we want to definitely try to send some donations in his honor to them. Also to the Omni Center here in Fayetteville. So please, if you're so moved, definitely take a look at Jacob's banjo, look at his picture, sign the guest book, and make a donation in his honor to these organizations. There will be a bicycle ride, a memorial bicycle ride today between 3:30 and 4 o'clock right here, right outside. If you don't have a bike, there will be some bikes, extra bikes available. This will not be, I promise you, a 50-mile bike ride. So don't get scared, even if you just want to ride a short while. But I heard that there'll even be arrangements to drive you back should you not be able to make the whole trip. So anyway, I don't know how long that's going to be going on for, but it will be happening here between 3:30 and 4. And also I want to tell you that at 7 o'clock at the Omni Peace, Justice and Ecology Center, Omni Center for Peace, Justice and Ecology, at 3274 North Lee, that's up the road on College Avenue here in Fayetteville. There'll be a farewell memorial where if you did not get a chance to say something, you can certainly come to that memorial. And I've been told that there'll be a place for almost everybody to say something and sing something and just kind of, again, be there and hold each other. At this point, I'd like to introduce some people that are going to be speaking and sharing some feelings, thoughts, and intimacy about their lives with Jacob. And the first person I want to introduce is Brock McIntosh, a fellow veteran of Jacob. He traveled with Jacob on his last trip, his final trip to Afghanistan. This time not as a warrior, but as a warrior for peace. And Brock will tell you more about that. And we're going to have an opportunity, if technology allows us, to actually Skype live and direct to Kabul, or Kabul, which I like to say. I don't know what the correct pronunciation is, but and speak with, or one of Jacob's friends will he just wanted to be part of this, and it's so appropriate and so fitting that he is. And then there's also going to be a Skype with Erica Thorne, an elder and mentor of Jacob. She's with the Training for Change. So please, a nice round of applause for Brock McIntosh. Get somebody up in the sound booth. A little bit of reverb and feedback. I don't think it's the mic, no, it's not the mic.
So, hey everyone, my name is Brock, and I got back from Afghanistan. When I got back from Afghanistan a few months later, I met Jacob. We co-founded Afghanistan Veterans Against the War together with some other veterans, and we traveled to Afghanistan as civilians a few summers ago. Those who know Jacob know the mountains were very important to him. He grew up in the mountains, he played in the mountains. He also went to war in the mountains. And he found reconciliation in the mountains in Afghanistan. He met some Afghans who called themselves mountain boys, and Jacob called himself a hillbilly. And when Jacob traveled there, they had both just got done planting potatoes, and they both mused over the absurdity of farmers killing farmers while people are starving. And he made a lot of great friends there in Bamiyan and Kabul, and they wanted to share some words. We're having some technical difficulties, so I'm going to try to get them up right now.
While Brock is doing that and getting Kabul on the line, might be some of you have not heard or gotten a copy of The Soldier's Heart, and I believe there are CDs. It's either Peace from the Hills or Soldier's Heart. I think it's Soldier's Heart. Well, they are over there, and please take them. We would like you to have a copy of that CD. We got them especially for you all to get a copy and hear what Jacob produced. It's a true masterpiece, along with Kelly and Donna and other amazing musicians. Sometimes getting through to a place like Afghanistan is very difficult. Broadband is not very broad, so we have to have a little patience here. If I could sing, I'd sing a song, but I'm not. You don't want to hear me sing. I'm not very good. No. Don't put me on the spot, Kelly. Also, please admire the beautiful medicine wheel when you get a chance. It was created by Lynn Ward, and Hamza saw it at an auction and knew that that would be the right thing for Jacob. And it was one of Jacob's most prized possessions. Besides his bicycle, I think the medicine wheel might have been his most prized possession. And I just spoke with Lynn a little earlier. She was so touched because he added so many things to that wheel along the way on his journey. He'd come back with a feather or some object.
These volunteers are here. Okay, great. So, go ahead, Hakeem.
Hello to all of you from Kabul. I hope they are hearing us because we've lost Brock on Skype. But from Kabul, we'd like to say, send all of you our peace. Salam. Salam. Those of us who know Brock have put together a message, and Five will first read the message in Dari, the official language in Islam. sacrifice.
سلام زمانی که جیکاب به کابل آمد با رضاکاران صلح ملاقات کرد مرزهای امریکا را عبور کرد او از قلبش به ما آهنگ خواند شاید آهنگش یاد ما نباشد صدا و روحش آن چیزی است که هر یک ما می‌شناسیم صلح درونی و بیرونی را محکم است تشکر از جیکاب برای مهربانیش که از مردم افغانستان بخشش خواست تشکر از شما که جایزه جنگ خود را به ناتو بس انداختید که آن جایزه ضد معنای زندگی بود از خانواده جیکاب تشکر که یک بچه بزرگ کردن که بهانه نکرد که جهان ما درست است جهان ما درست نیست به این خاطر ما عامل خواهیم کشید و روش نابودی جنگ را در جهان ببیند محبت با جیکاب رضاکاران صلح افغانستان.
I will now read what Faith had read in Dari in English. This is our message for Jacob and his family from Kabul, Afghanistan. When Jacob came to visit us in Kabul, he said, and spirit is what each of us wants, a spirit seizing peace within and without. Jacob, thank you. Jacob, thank you for your kindness in asking forgiveness from the people of Afghanistan. Jacob, thank you for throwing your war medals back to NATO because you understood that those medals opposed the meaning of life. Jacob's family, thank you for raising your child as a man who would not pretend that our world is okay. Our world is not okay. That's why we will try our best in Afghanistan to continue Jacob's tune and rise so that our next generation can see an end not only to war in Afghanistan, but war as a human method in the world. With love from all of us in Afghanistan, the Afghan Peace Volunteers. Thank you.
And eventually Brock will bring us in. And then Erica, go ahead.
Thank you very much to the Afghan Volunteers for Peace and to everyone who has made this memorial possible. This is Erica Thorne. Jacob, from the 3-week intensive training that he took with my organization, Training for Change, in June of 2011. He and I became very close because for many reasons. We were both warriors, and as my father was a World War II vet on 100% service-connected disability, there was much to talk about and to feel about in terms of what war can do to a person and for a person. I send my deepest heart greetings to Jacob's family, especially his younger brother. I didn't meet you, and Jacob and I talked about you in loving ways, nothing but loving ways, over the last year and a half. And I send my also my heart's love to the activists in Omni who provided a base for Jacob and who welcomed me so warmly just on August 22nd and 24th of this year, which is when I last spent time with Jacob. I want you all to know who are there, and with whom I'm there in spirit, but not physically, that when Jacob greeted me at the airport when I came in on August 22nd, we hugged, as we always do, and he said, "Welcome to Arkansas." And I said, "Yes, it's my first time. I'm so excited to be here." And he said, "This has been the most beautiful summer in Arkansas that I believe I ever remember. It's been cool, and the days are beautiful, and it's so green, and I can ride my bike almost all the time." And those words were exactly some of why Jacob and I loved each other so deeply. We both loved to bicycle, to deal with things, and to deal with stress, and both loved the land and the country, and had both grown up rurally. And I want folks to know that while it is so shocking and confounding for Jacob to be gone from us, and so deeply, deeply wounding, that at that time when I talked with him, he felt very clear about how much he expressed to me very clearly how much he loved his family, how much he loved his little brother, how sometimes there were things to work out, and he felt that the very most difficult of those things were behind you, behind him, and that he and I were able to completely connect on a heart channel that we always had, on a heart to heart, as we always had. I know that all of us know that there must have been things that we did not know about what was happening with Jacob, and I believe completely in how clear he was about his love for the folks, for his family, and for the people that meant a lot to him. That he definitely knew, and I have every belief that he has taken that with his spirit, and that love is the answer, and I believe he knew that. Thank you all very, very much for allowing me to speak. And I'll be with you all in spirit all day through the music and the celebration, as well as the tears. They both are happening up here in Minneapolis too. Thank you.
Thanks for bearing with the technical difficulties. They were calling all the way from across the other side of the world, from the Bamyan Mountains where those famous Buddha statues were blown up in 2001. So it was really incredible that they were able to participate in this.
Thank you, Brock. Thanks for facilitating all that. Robin?
It's all right. I'm a little vertically challenged. For those of you that don't know, I'm Jacob's mom, and I'd like to share with you something that I shared at the CD release party, and that is, even as a tiny, tiny child, he displayed a very strong will to follow his own heart, and I have some of his other mothers here today that will attest to that. And he also began to display some very strong leadership qualities, and I began to pray very fervently that he would recognize these gifts he had and that he would develop them and use them to help others and to make a difference in this world. And when I heard the CD, Soldier's Heart, in its entirety for the first time, I knew the prayers of my heart, Mother's heart, had been answered. And even though this mother's heart is broken today, for the songs left unwritten, the stories left untold, the lives left untouched, we do still have Soldier's Heart. And thanks to the work and the generosity of so many people, we have enough copies for everybody to have the CD, everybody to have the Soldier's Heart storybook, which now has been revised to include his picture and obituary. Jacob often referred to me and himself and his sister and Brother Jordan as his sweet little family. But we have other family here today I would like to recognize, because I want everybody to know, I know a lot of you just knew him as the veteran or the peace proponent, but you know, he was also a son, life partner, grandson, brother, very much adored uncle, nephew, cousin. My mother is here with us today. She's almost 90 years old. She's Jacob's only remaining grandparent. She's Granny. Mother, would you stand up? My brother, Paul, and his daughters, Jackie and Emily's fiance, and Jackie's daughter, Kylie, with us today, all the way from Little Rock. Aunt Doris, Jeannie, Johnny, Jennifer, Rocky. I didn't see anybody else. Of course, we'd also like for you to remember, not only was he our family member, some other interesting things. He was an awesome cook and spent the summer with me and put on about 12 pounds. And that I think I've lost over the last couple of weeks. But anyway, he enjoyed cooking for me, and he said he had the mother hen syndrome. He would call and he'd say, "When are you coming home? I've got your dinner cooked and it's getting cold." Like, I'm on my way, I have to work. But he enjoyed the cooking. He was probably going to be one of his next projects, start here in Fayetteville. He also talking about going back to school, becoming a professor and lecturing, which we all know he would have been great at. He also wanted to start a family, settle down a little bit, put down some roots, time to think about family of his own. But mostly just remember he was a beautiful soul that loved this earth and the good things that it gives us. And to try to thank everybody today that has helped with this memorial, and all of you that have laughed with us, cried with us, prayed with us, and prayed for us. I know I would leave somebody out, so I don't want to do that, so I'm just going to say thank you so much to everybody for everything you've done. And again, even though my heart, Jasmine's heart, Jordan's heart, our family's hearts are broken today, they're definitely warmed by the presence of each and every one of you here, because you are definitive living proof that he did make a difference, not only in your lives, but in this world. Thank you.
Robin, thank you so much. You know that you and your family have just definitely become our family. And Jacob was like a son to us. He lived with us. We spent so much time together, and we got to know his beautiful mother and sister, and of course his fabulous brother and lovely nieces. Very special to Hamza and I. Kelly and Donna, please come up and perform a song.
We're here primarily to share a song that Donna wrote just about 24 hours after we heard the news. But I do want to mention a few things. First of all, I wanted to talk about the Peace from the Hill CD. I want everybody to take one of those home today. That's a beautiful compilation that must have been 4 years ago, more than 4 years ago. And it has a wonderful selection of poems and songs from people all over our community. And in addition to some poems from Jacob, and a song from Jacob, and the crew from the Ride to the End. It's a beautiful thing, so I hope you'll take one home. It was produced by his cousin, Steve Cope, who can't be here, of course, because Stephen is... I'm sorry?
Stephen,
Oh, he is?
he here? No, he sits here with me.
Oh, there's a sitar?
Yes.
My goodness sakes. Stephen Koger is in India right now, if you don't know that, his cousin. The other thing I wanted to mention is about Soldier's Heart. I am very thankful personally for a memory that I will never let go of. And I feel so lucky to have had, in my little studio, our home studio, Jacob came over to record 10 or 12 songs. I didn't know what was up. I didn't realize that I was going to be witnessing a living shooting star right in my own home. The most magnificent musical performance I have ever seen, the most riveting thing I have ever seen, happened right in front of my eyes, and it makes me shake when I even talk about it. I feel that album is one of the greatest pieces of art I have ever witnessed. And I hope that one favor I would like to ask of everybody in this room is to take that album home and help spread it through the world. I want that album to go further. That album is medicine for vets coming home from Afghanistan. And I somehow, maybe we can put our minds together and figure out how to get these things in their hands.
Heard it in Lebanon now.
There you go. That's what I like to hear. So that's what I wanted to say, and now I'm going to turn this over to Donna.
And one thing I want to say is that Jacob loves this community so much. And the last time we saw Jacob, he was at Tricycle Farms handing out pawpaws. He had gone out in the woods with Joshua, and they gathered a sack of pawpaws. If you don't know what a pawpaw is, it's this fruit that can only grow like in the wild, in the woods, up in the mountains. And it's like a mango banana. It's so delicious. And how many of you got a pawpaw from Jacob that afternoon? It was amazing. So this is Jacob's pawpaw. The last time we saw him, Jacob gave us a pawpaw, perfectly right, the color of gold, from a brown paper sack. He passed round those treasures like Jesus sharing wisdom with the lambs of his fold. Now Jacob had a soldier's heart, big as the world, a flag of peace he proudly unfurled, but his heart was so big that it could not contain all of the sorrow and all of the pain. Now you can't find a pawpaw in the grocery aisle. They love to grow wild by a clear mountain stream. Jacob's flying high now over those hills, and in each one of us he planted a seed. Now Jacob had a soldier's heart, big as the moon, the banjo his weapon, his message a tune, with the strength from the eagle soaring above. With his warrior spirit he shared his great love, shared his great love. Now Kelly and I, we never tasted pawpaw. We ate with our fingers, they dripped down our chin, sweet as the spirit of our dear friend Jacob, gonna grow a patch of pawpaws in memory of him. The last time we saw him, Jacob gave us a pawpaw.
Jasmine was Jacob's sister. Jasmine, George McBride, and JC, hopefully something. Jasmine and JC.
Oh, wow. So many people, it's overwhelming. I just want to say thank you all for coming. I'm Jacob's younger sister. We're about 15 months apart. He's 15 months older than me, and then it was me, and then Jordan was the baby. It was our baby, always. We really did grow up on the top of a mountain. He was not kidding. He told you people that. But nobody else for miles around, so we were each other's only playmates. It was just me and him all the time, and our home life was not always the most peaceful, but to Jay the most peaceful thing was to go out and run that mountain and climb those trees and play in that dirt and find animals that we probably shouldn't have been befriending, but he didn't care, and he was so special to me. You know, a lot of you knew him as the peace activist and the anti-war, which is so important that he was able to reach so many people in that way. But to me, he was Jay. He was my brother, and we had a really special bond all those years of just being playmates. And so just remember that how special he was to us as a family. And the past few years, we had both kind of matured enough to come to the place to see that family is so important, and we had gotten so close, and he loved my two daughters so very much, and he was the fun uncle. I had to be the mean mom, but he got to be the fun uncle and take them out and let them get dirty and all kinds of things. So just thank you all for coming, and it's just so heartwarming for us to see how many other people loved him as well.
My name is JC McBride.
She wanted to tell this story, but she's kind of sad, so she wants me to do it for her. For her birthday and for Christmases and stuff, Jake liked to give them special gifts, not just something from Walmart, And her last birthday, she turned 8 in July. He came and picked her up and took her to Mount Magazine, up to the lodge that our grandfather helped get built. And he took her hiking and for lunch, and they went swimming. And can you tell me what Uncle Possum did? He wouldn't stay in the buoys, would he, in the swimming place? And he got in trouble, didn't he? And doesn't that sound just like Jay? Yeah, he didn't care about the buoys in the swimming area. He wanted to go swim in the rest of the lake. And she still remembers that, and she'll always remember that. So, thank y'all. Thank y'all for coming.
One more thing. This last Christmas, Jasmine and I made the decision that we were just going to dispense with materialism. And we drew names among the adults, and whatever gift, well, you had to make it, or talk it, or preach it, or sing it, or donate your time, or something. It just could not be store-bought. Well, knowing Jacob, he drew his sister's name, and he wrote her a song. And he performed it for us on Christmas morning, but he said, don't record this because I'm not finished yet, and when I get it right, I'll record it for everybody. Well, her husband, Justin, being the husband and father of the year that he is every year, turned his phone on and recorded it anyway. So if anybody would like to hear the sister song, Justin has it on his phone.
Put it on the microphone.
What is that? Can you hear it?
We have recorded it now.
Use the right.
That's what you call a bootleg. Is Adam Cox immediately in the house? Is Adam? Anybody seen Adam? Outside. He's outside? Maybe somebody could get Adam. That would be great. All right. Adam has just been amazing putting this whole musical creation together, so Adam, thank you so much.
Stephen wanted me to give this to place there.
Really? I have a book. Disappeared. This is great. Does anybody see a black binder? Oh man, I lost it. Oh, there it is. It's in my guitar case. Thank you. Goodness, that would have been embarrassing. Still kind of is embarrassing.
I'm gonna try to keep this short and sweet card, though. I've known Jacob for the better part of 10 years. I met him in Fort Smith when I lived there. That was my stomping grounds. It's his stomping grounds too. And anyways, we go way back, and he stopped by my house one day. I'm not sure exactly when it was, a couple weeks before he passed away, but he called me, he said, I've got somebody I want you to meet. He's in my car. He said, are you at your house? I said, yeah, I'm at my house. So he stopped by the house, and he had Jimmy Freeman in his car. And I helped him write the song, Jimmy Freeman, but I'd never met the man. And they just got back from a camping trip, telling war stories and hanging out and having a good time. And it was absolutely hilarious, every story that was told. But towards the end of us hanging out there in the living room, he said, just kind of randomly, says, hey, can you play that Dear Roosevelt song? It's a Woody Guthrie song that I put a tune to it a few years ago, and he said it was his favorite song that I did. And he just kind of randomly asked it. I said, yeah, I'll play it, you know, and so I pulled it out of a book and played it for him and Jenny. And it was a good moment. And after he passed away, it was, that song played in my head on a loop over and over and over again for several days. It was the only, I mean, I couldn't even think about anything else but that song. So I sat down and rewrote the song, and honestly, the original song is, Woody Guthrie wrote it for Mrs. Roosevelt, FDR's wife, thank you, Eleanor, whenever she passed away. And I think that he really enjoyed the song because, you know, the song says, this world was lucky just to see him born, talking about FDR. I think he really enjoyed it because he aspired or wished to have some politician or somebody heading something up that had the same heart and same ideas, and I think that's why I really liked it a lot. But I rewrote the song, and as it turns out, I really didn't have to change anything, but just the people and the locations, and everything else fits fine. Dear Mrs. Mulek, don't you hang your head and cry. His mortal clay is laid away, but his good work is the sky. This world is lucky just to see him born. He hopped on his bike, he rode out of sight, and he said to one and all, you money-changing racket boys have sure enough got to fall. This world is lucky just to see him born. In Chicago, at the G8, well, he used his gift of tongue to get you thieves and liars told and put you on the run. And this world is lucky just to see him born. I helped him write a song or two. Then he learned me how to talk, and I could see his heart was hurt. But he learned my soul to walk. And this world was lucky just to see him born. He went back to Afghanistan. He tried to make amends. He loved the folks that wished him well, as everybody did. This world was lucky just to see him born. I was hanging out the other day with all my friends, and over my shoulder talking, I could hear some soldier say, this world is lucky just to see him born. Guess this world is lucky just to see him born. No, this world was lucky just to see him born. This world is lucky just to see him born.
So many people here from all over, like I say, people from Vancouver, Oregon, Philadelphia, New York. It's just a fraction of all the people that wanted to be here. I know of a lot of people that wanted to be here, wondering if we could Skype it in, put it online, you know. Anyway, they're all here in spirit, and there are memorials going on all over the country, actually, for Jacob. Humps and I happened to be in New York City for the Climate March a couple of weeks ago, and got a call from Robin, who had been in touch with Amanda, Spitfire, who told us that there was a memorial for Jacob in Brooklyn, and what a blessing it was to be there at Matt Howard's house, where 20 vets gathered from all over the country to tell stories and share and hold each other and build and create a beautiful banner, which I think is parked outside somewhere. Please take a look at the banner. By the way, that banner marched with 500,000 people in the Climate March also. Matt Howard.
So I met Jacob and Brock actually at the same time in 2011. They were coming through the Bay Area in a speaking tour. They were speaking about their experiences going to Afghanistan. And I was struck by the two of them because Jacob and Brock were like almost this study in contrast. Brock was, conservatively dressed, and Jacob was in a holy T-shirt I think he'd had for a while, cut off sleeves. And when they came to speak, they crashed at my house and had an opportunity to just get an idea of who they were. And I was just struck by how Jacob. So just to say, I'm in Iraq Veterans Against the War, and a lot of my brothers and sisters are here today too. And I think that it's not all that often that people in our community can really that are really able to express themselves, I feel like, in a really open way. And I was struck by how when you talked to Jacob, he connected to you and saw you who you were without judgment. And I think that, you know, one of the things that I had the privilege of marching with Jacob in the NATO march, as a lot of folks did in this room, I think, and he had said something after that I, like many things, that made me kind of sit down and chew over it and kind of challenged me, which was just talking about the Vietnam veterans that are around us and how they physically and figuratively held the space around us, this safe space, and how that doesn't happen that often with elders. And I think that, you know, kind of that wisdom that he shared with, I think, so many folks in our community and the ability. And I just want to thank the family and for all of you for welcoming us, you know, into Fayetteville. And thank you.
One of the people that is really key in helping put this together. She's orchestrated so much and just been a real hub and a rock, and that's and a dear friend and compañera of Jacob, and that's Amanda Spitfire. Amanda.
Hi everybody. So I had no idea what I was going to say until this morning, and then I opened up this book and I remembered this passage that hit me really hard last year at the CD release party, and something that Jacob and I talked about constantly. I'm sure he talked with all of you about it, so I just wanted to read this as part of what I want to speak on. He says, "A wise medicine woman from Arkansas once told me that grief is pain trying to leave the body. If you don't allow yourself to grieve, it gets stuck. But once you grieve, the body can heal itself. I won't lie, some of this is heavy. But telling my story is a part of my healing process. And it's not just veterans who need to heal. All of us need to heal from the war and the roster of ailments produced by a nation at war. This is grieving for me. You have him inside of you, because that's just the kind of energy he had. So, thank you."
We have two sections for speaking. This section, and then we're going to have a break where everybody can create their own section. And we'll go back to some music, and we'll have another speaking session towards the end. I would like to introduce a person that was very close to Jacob. Vietnam veteran. Someone who Jacob looked up to, was a mentor to Jacob. Also very steeped in Native American lore. And I can't count the number of Native American sweat lodges that Jacob attended with Vela as the guide, as the facilitator. Very dear person. And anyway, Vela Giri.
I knew Jacob pretty well for 4 years. We moved in tandem for a lot of growth, a lot of healing. When we met him, we thought that this guy's pretty angry and he goes through the VA and get some benefits or can help or something, And eventually, then he went back to Afghanistan and continued his healing, and I went back to Vietnam again after this is my third, fourth or some trip back, and Well, Jacob did get his thing from the VA and got a certain percentage. And when I was in Vietnam, this guy said, "Yo, so what do you? How much benefits you get?" And I go, "For what, dude? I'm standing here healthy. For PTSD, dude." And I don't have PTSD. Well, I got 100% right now. So if I do anything wrong here, I'm certified. So just give me a break. Well, me and Jacob did that together. And then we went up to Minnesota. And I'm in the Minnesota Men's Conference. I'm from Minnesota, you can tell my accent. And we did a program for the vets to bring the vets out from hiding. Because there's a bunch of vets there, they're always in the background somewhere, they don't come out. And so we did a program for the vets to show them how to come out. And it was, I don't know what it was called, but it's like, we brought them guys out. And I knew already Jacob and I had each other's backs, and these guys came out and they said, some of them guys said, "That's the first time I ever realized, since Vietnam, someone's got my back." And that's the hardest thing. Because I got this soldier's heart. We all got, us vets got this soldier's heart. And we need someone to have our back. And Jacob and I had each other's back, and now I don't have Jacob to have my back anymore. And that hurts. But I need you other veterans to stand up right now. I knew you would. Because we always got each other's back. And if I learned anything from what Jacob has done with his life, is that I ain't never going to do that, and I'm going to be the last man standing, and I got your back.
I'm not going to be all nice. Jacob was a bad motherfucker. I don't know if you knew him like I knew him. He's a bad motherfucker, dude. And all I want is a hell yeah for Jacob right now.
And he said, what songs do you know, what do you want to do? I said, I don't care. I said, do you smoke in your apartment, cigarettes? And he says, no, man, I don't smoke. But he went over and he opened up his windowsill, and we sat on his windowsill, and I smoked cigarettes at his apartment, and we sang songs. And this was the first song that he sang. And since then, he played every show that I ever played with Jacob, he played this song. So I felt obligated to play it.
Oh, how the extra, yeah, have to come in. You sky full of boxes, don't you listen, they're alive. Us poor folks haven't got a chance on unless we organize. Which side are you on, boy? Which side are you on? Which side are you on, boy? Which side are you on? I said, which side are you on, boy? Which side are you on? Which side are you on, boy? Which side are you on?
So, I can never really do this song justice, but we're gonna do it anyways. I hope Jenny's in here to hear it. Oh, there he is. Alright. I was just telling them. Oh, I'm turning the wrong freaking around. I was just telling them outside earlier. A week before Jacob passed away, he called me and said, hey, I've got somebody I want you to meet right by the house. Oh, I said this. And he came by the house. Well, later on, I told my son, who's 11 years old, went camping with Jacob a lot, and really looked up to him, and we told him after he got home from school, hey, you know who came by the house today? He said, who? I said, Jimmy Freeman. And I mean, you would have guessed that, like, a famous rock star just stopped by the house, you know. He was, like, in shock and awe that he even sat on our couch, you know. I didn't tell him how stinky he was.
He made a drum for her to pay for it. That's really neat. I'm glad for her.
So we're going to try.
Not consciously. No. We'll let you pray. I'm glad to hear about her. Thanks, Drew.
Well, it seems like just a few years ago, well, I don't know, back around the 90s or so, I was running up and down that mountain in my town. Whoever damn knew mountain was a name, and running in a shooting was our game. Up and down that mountain with no shame. Well, of course, the trouble was our thing, with the BB guns and a rubber sleeve. We had a box on the dark and a band of battle cry. Every and Jimmy in the world, fighting off all those crazy girls. The best damn days of our lives. All right, sing it with us now. Said, oh, me, oh, mine. Rolling up on the mountainside, I find them all and running all the time. Here we go. Said, oh, my, oh, me. Tramping all over this world to see, and you can't take the mountain out of me. Very nice. Yeah. I just followed you guys. Well, I left town when I was just 16. Said goodbye to Jimmy and the guys. Went to El Paso because of my team. And it seemed like every corner I turned, another hard lesson waiting to be learned. And the law was there to help me to get this right. Then I met a man who gave me a hand. He said his name was old Uncle Sam. So I hopped on a plane to scratch my itchy feet. So off to war I went with pride. Fight for my country both day and night. Ride on the Yakima to pack the station line. Here we go now. Said, oh, me, oh, my. Rolling up on the mountainside. I fight for more than running all the time. Said, oh, my, oh, me. Travel all over this world to see, and you can't take the mountain not to get shot by the angry farmer to the homes we just took. And when I look around at all the men who you'll never guess who I sold in, but none other than that dadgum Jimmy Freeman right over there from Arkansas. There wasn't more than 50 people on that mountaintop. And Jacob's next door neighbor's son just happened to be one of them. Hey Jimmy, I love you. I'm happy to know you, by the way. Oh me, oh my, going up on the mountainside, I found you all and running all night. Sing it with me now. Say, oh me, oh man, and all over this world to see it, you can't take the mountain out of me. But I said, oh me, oh my, going up on the mountainside, I found you all and running all the night. Said, oh my, oh me, ramping all over this world to see it, you can't take the mountain out of me. Well, you can't take the mountain out of me. Josh. Joshua Walter's going to sing a song next, and Jacob spent really the last couple of weeks, he was around, he spent a lot of time with Joshua. It was Joshua and Jacob that went out to get all the pawpaws, and they really had a good time the last couple of weeks. And it was asked Joshua if he'd play a song. He said it was the last song he played with Jacob. And you know, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it's kind of hard to play a lot of these songs. It's especially hard to play Jacob's songs. But they are songs and a story that I pray to God live on. That I know for one, I'm going to help make them live on. And I hope others will do the same. I know we've already talked about this at some point tonight, but I think we're all grateful to know the man for who he was, regardless of different circles and different worlds that we knew him in. Some of us knew him as a child, some of us knew him as a crazy skinhead. Some of us knew him as an activist. Some of us knew him as a war hero. Some of us knew him as a musician. But we were all friends with that man. And I want to tell you something. That man was friends with all of you. He cared about every single last one of you. And it is important for us to carry on that legacy. And I hope you do.
We will.
When we played this song, it was in my living room out in Vienna. And it's a song I wrote about 9 months ago, and as we're playing this song together, he's sitting there, you know, with his washed up bass. His head was back, his eyes were closed. And the name of the song is called Boundless. And that was that moment. It was a timelessness and something that I'll cherish for the rest of my life. And I'm a little nervous right now. My legs are shaking, my heart's pounding.
where I stand. A ruffled look in my tattered feathers, and tickle my fingers in grains of sand, and rub my fingers in grains of sand. And oh, the sky is boundless, and the ocean got its depth, and my soul may be limitless. Just give me a moment to catch my breath. There's sand in each crack and crevice, and my feet have been swept from under. Yes, these waves knock me home, boy, rubbing me raw where I'm so fragile, rubbing me raw where I'm so fragile. And oh, the sky is boundless, and the ocean got its depth, and my soul may be limitless. Just give me a moment to catch my breath. Our footprints leave behind a story, where we've been and where we are. If we follow them further, we may find there was no beginning or end of time. There is no beginning or end of time. And oh, the sky is boundless, and the ocean got its depth, and my soul may be limitless. Just give me a moment to catch my breath. Just give me a moment to catch my breath. Just give me a moment to catch my breath.
Am I right in front of where
I was thinking the other day, there's probably not another vet in this country that had a support system like Jacob had. And I mean that, not in any metaphorical way, I just mean really. He had a lot of people, as evidenced today, that loved him all over the country. And I hope you guys know that and realize that.
played like one all the time. The older I got, the more I forgot. Traded my kite for a fight, I said. Traded my kite for a fight. But I fought with my brother, fought with my mother, living hell all the time. And I wish I could trade all the misery I made. Just need some wind for my kite, I said. Just need some wind for my kite. Oh, and won't you blow? Oh, and won't you blow? But I'm sick of this nonsense. Gonna build myself a fence so no one will see who I am. God forbid they see what I did when I fought for old Uncle Sam. I say, fought for old Uncle Sam. But I struck the fight on for a decade long, from here to that crazy old war. And I can't believe the boy that I see is sure not the child I was. Sure not the child I was. Sing it with us. Oh, and won't you blow? Oh, and won't you blow? Finish this fight, across the desert I ride. But I'm healing my pain while trying to stay sane for the search for the child inside. The search for the child inside. When I was as low as could be, on the rooftop of an Afghan motel. Show me the child I am, I said. Show me the child I am. Oh, and won't you blow? Oh, and won't you blow? This is a song that Robin asked if we do, and honestly, this, to me, is the most poignant, beautiful song for this. And I'm tuned up, so that's all we got to say. I'm tired, so weary, that I must go on. Till the Lord comes, calls me away. The morning's so bright, and the land is valley, and the night is as black as she. There will be peace